On December 9th, 2024, this man, Robert Brooks, was beaten, severely beaten, brutally beaten, kicked, an object stuffed down his throat. People, it looked like and it felt like a crucifixion. I had been waiting to do this video because I wanted enough shoes to drop, so to speak, no pun intended. I wanted enough information to come out. I wanted to go through enough footage. You see, because part of my job used to be investigations. I've learned over time to not rush to judgment. But there is video footage here so conclusive that not only is the average person who's looking for justice asking, how come the people who beat this man not behind bars, even though there is clearly more evidence and information to get? But people, today is the last day of the year, the 31st. The video came out a few days ago. When it came out, all I could say was, my God, again? Yes, my God, again. You see, I look at this thing in so many aspects. I've been trying to inform you guys about the climate and the intent of the Antichrist. This is the month of December, people. And when I saw this man lying down, the way they wrapped him up, he looked like it's depicted in the Hollywood movies, like Jesus. So it felt like a crucifixion. America wants a race war, people. The Antichrist wants a race war. I am convinced that, and I've said this ever since I revealed, you guys can go back and watch my videos on Snoop Dogg when he did the video Lavender. I have said it's going to be a person of color. I might be wrong, but if I'm right, it's going to be a person of color, an immigrant or whoever. Somebody look like me to take out, to unalive Donald J. Trump. It's going to be a long time before I can walk the street, people. I said it's going to be a long time before I can walk the street. These devils, they're done it again. I don't care what nobody says. This thing was beyond just a regular, how would you say, a regular case that you cover in relation to police brutality. No. It's the month of December, people. And I see it for what it is, and I put it up against the 5 C's. I'm like, this is a crucifixion, Pearson. This was a message. It's so deep, people. They want a race war. You know as well as I do, the average police officer has been on pins and needles. I don't care what color they are. With all the camera footage, a lot of them quit after the BLM. I ran videos on it on my last channel. A lot of police officers, they quit because they were just scared to do anything in relation to arresting people or being in the presence of people of color, because it could be, you gotta cross your you gotta do everything just right, and you're supposed to, but you're nervous, and you're so nervous you're bound to make a mistake, and you're scared. You could either go to jail. Look, no one can tell me. I did the videos, I did the research with the BLM, and I'm telling you, a lot of cops and a lot of white cops, they were like, my God, I could wind up going to jail. So you cannot make me believe that 13 officers did what they did, and a nurse stood there, and nobody had the sense of mind. Even when you watch the video, it looked like spectators and custodians were walking past, peeking in as this man was brutally beat. And nobody picked up the phone and dialed 911 on 911. People, if that doesn't speak to a higher power creating a situation beyond the situation, I don't know what else does. They want me to hate you now, my white brothers and sisters. They want me to not have no faith in you. That's what they want. And then, like I said, if I'm right, if Donald J. Trump is unalived by someone you're looking at, it's going to be hard for me to walk up and down the street, because folks going to lose their mind. You see, because he's the new hope, and I get it. And I hate to say it, people. Between that atmosphere and the hired people that they have on standby, waiting to engineer this thing, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be something we ain't never seen before. I want y'all to get ready. I don't know when the linchpin going to strike. I don't know how much food you should put in the house, when, but we all going to have to just chill out for a while, because this satanic system, I'm afraid that they have outdone themselves this time, people. I'm not gonna watch the video. I'm not gonna take a chance. If I do, I'll get in trouble. I get it. But I want you to know what happened. I want you to see something, first of all. On the door of the police vehicle, they show March 16th. I interpret that as 3. Now, when I say March, you don't have the M-A-R-C-H, but I took it as March 3:16. I took it as 3:16, like scripture, sacrifice. Or you can flip it and make it W-A-R for war. Anyway, M is the 13th letter of the alphabet, A is 1, R is 18. That comes up to 32. 32 plus 16 gives you 48. If I make that a date, that's April 8th. On April 8th, an eclipse came across the world, X. Was this the man not X'd? He died the very next day, right? Because it's coded, baby. The thing is coded to me, okay? Now look at this here. George Floyd died on 5/25 of 2020. If you take the day that he died versus this day that this gentleman died, 12/9 of 2024, the difference is 6/14. Is it coincidence that Trump's birthday is 6/14? I can scream, come on, man. I just want you to understand, people, this is sacrifice. What are the odds that George Floyd took his last breath on 5/25 of 2020, but the anniversary is 5/25 of 2024 versus this day, 12/9, on the way he got a beat down? Subtract those two dates, and it comes out to 6/14. What are the odds? 6 months and 14 days later, and that's Trump's birthday. What are the odds? People, this thing was choreographed. It's got the numbers. They don't lie. I hate doing this. Look at him laying out there. Look how they got him. Got him laying out there. Let's pull this up again. Got him laying out there like Jesus. Look at that big thing, like almost like a diaper. The beating was just, it was horrendous. It was horrendous, people. This is America. Now you're gonna see a thing called liberty. See that? See the police officer there? This is the room where they beat him in. But the sanitizer, I guess it's a company called Liberty, but the camera kept showing this. They had a police officer with a body camera on, but this kept showing up. Liberty. Isn't that interesting? Liberty. Liberty comes out to 44. Who's the 44th president? Barack Obama. And what about 98? What is 98? I'm gonna show you all that. The 98th day of the year is April 8th. There's that 48 again, when the X came across America. Is that coincidence, people? Liberty. And there's the vehicle that they transported him in. See, it says MAR 16. Could it be March 3, like John 3:16, 3:16? Or you flip it, WAR 16? Who knows? Now let me show you guys. Let me break this down. I want you to understand, they won a race war. You guys, please be careful. I don't care what color you are. They got so much tension out here, people. I want to show you Terry Nichols, George Floyd, and Rodney King, and how the numbers match up, allegedly. Look how they, like slavery day, people. Look at that. Look at that. Brought him in and beat the living hell out of him. If anybody can find his birthday, let me know. I got his death date. I don't have his birthday. And they're not in jail. Still doing an investigation. I'm not going to read all that right now. Maybe later on I'll do a follow-up. Listen, this happened in New York too. Not directly New York, but a part of New York. Listen.
Man beaten in a New York prison this month was repeatedly hit by correction officers while in handcuffs, struck in the chest by a shoe, then lifted by the neck and dropped. The body-worn camera footage released on Friday by the state attorney general's office shows all of this. 43-year-old Robert Brooks was pronounced dead on December 10th, the morning after the brutal assault at the Marcy Correctional Facility in Oneida County. At least 14 workers implicated in the attack will face termination, according to New York Governor Kathy Hochul, who said she was, quote, outraged and horrified by the videos of the, quote, senseless killing, end quote. The footage made public Friday by New York Attorney General Letitia James showed correction officers repeatedly punching Brooks in the face and groin as he sat handcuffed on a medical table. Let's hear from New York Attorney General.
It was terrible, people. It was terrible. Look, liberty. Liberty comes out to 44. Isn't that something? Can you believe this? Now, they're not New York PD, but they're correctional officers. And even if anybody didn't have a body camera on, common sense would be like, bringing somebody in and they died, it was going to be all eyes pointing at them, the way they drug him in there, because I'm sure they got cameras throughout the whole facility. I did this kind of work for 19 years. I know what I'm talking about. You can't be that stupid, people. I want you to understand how deep this is. This is not 1970. There are cameras everywhere in America. You got to be a special kind of stupid to try to think you would do this and you would risk your career and no one would snitch and there'd be no evidence and no medical examiner would figure it out. So it had to be something at a higher level. It had to be, people. It had to be. This is not your traditional case. Not by a long shot. It's on the level of a Rodney King. It's on the level of a Tyree Nichols. It's on that level. And I'm going to show you. Here's his dad and his brother. Some of the 5 C's I'm pointing out, some I'm not. Because the biggest thing to me right now, they want a race war. They want a race war, y'all. We not going to get out of this one. As long as we got media, and as long as they're able to create antics, and they got people out there waiting so they can tell them what to do when they pull this thing off, you need to just stay in the house when stuff go down. Get a plan. I know people, I'm not giving up. I'm just a realist. I did this kind of work. People, I did this kind of work. I did investigations, part of my job. That's what I used to do. This is not regular. They would have been in jail no time flat with the cameras. Lawsuits filed everywhere. Why are they waiting? Because emotionally they're flaming the fire emotionally. That's what they want to do. It's all choreographed, allegedly. Listen.
Tonight, the father and son of 43-year-old Robert Brooks joined by hundreds outside the Monroe County Jail to honor his life. 13 Ram Stephen Pappas brings us the latest from tonight's vigil as the calls for answers grow.
Yeah, Karen, it was a celebration of life outside the Monroe County Jail for Robert Brooks as loved ones and community members send a clear message demanding accountability and change.
A Rochester family is reeling after the death of 43-year-old Robert Brooks.
His killing must be a catalyst for change. Justice must be served.
Brooks' son and father joined by hundreds for a vigil outside the Monroe County Jail to honor his life and bring light to the events leading up to his death. In body camera video released by the state attorney general, correctional officers can be seen beating a restrained Brooks at the Marcy Correctional Facility in Oneida County. His father devastated and outraged.
It's crazy, y'all. It's crazy. Like I said, the 5 C's are there, so I'm not going to get into them right now. Because I'm telling y'all, the power's got their hand in this thing. I don't care what nobody say. It's all there. Now, Stephen A. Smith went from doing sports exclusively to now doing political. About maybe 5-6 months ago, something like that. But here's his take. Listen.
Every single individual who put their hands on Robert Brooks is guilty of murder. You want to determine 1st degree, 2nd degree? Fine. It's one of them. He's dead. You want to sit up there and talk about manslaughter, whatever. I never understand why I got to be manslaughter instead of murder or whatever, but figure it out. The point is, anybody that put their hands on him is guilty of murder. And anybody who stood by and watched and did nothing is complicit, although not directly guilty of murder. But you're complicit. I want names, I want faces. All 13 and the nurse.
What do you think? Look, he's 100% right. It don't matter if it's color, culture. It don't matter, people. It doesn't matter. They should have been arrested ASAP. There is a chain of command. Everybody knows who's punching the clock. Everybody knows who's there. Call in necessary people. Get them all together. Probably 50% of them right there is on camera. And not just on that camera, on the entrance and on the outside. I've just done my basic homework to show you. I showed you the car door that he was in. It says MAR 16. It's a lot of clues here, people. It's a lot of clues. Liberty, I already showed you that. 98-44. Now, George Floyd. I did this video a long time ago. You guys know how I feel about it. Like I said, the powers at their hand in this too. He died 5/25/2020. All right. If you take 5/25/2020 versus the day this gentleman died, 12/9/2024, or the day he was beat down, the difference is 46. 4 years, 6 months, 2 weeks. George Floyd died at 46 years old. Is that coincidence? Rodney King, back in the day. Rodney King was beat up by a multiplicity of cops in LA, March 3rd, 1991. March 3rd, 2025 anniversary versus the day this gentleman got beat up, 12/9. The difference is 84 days. Are you kidding me, Pearson? No, I'm not kidding you. The power's been at this thing a long time. I don't care. No, these are sacrifices, and the numbers speak it. The 84 is a system. Barack Obama just happened to be born on August 4th. He had to fit it, so to speak. I've been teaching y'all that. But 84 speaks like 44. This is the Antichrist system. This is the atmosphere. This is that number. So what are the odds? This number, I've been showing you guys this number for ages, 84. What are the odds? 3/3/2025, anniversary of Rodney King. Versus the day this man got beat down, 12/9. The difference is 84 days. Come on, man. And then who we got here? Tyree Nichols. Tyree Nichols was beat at a traffic stop on January 7th, 2023. He died on January 10th, 2023. You guys probably remember that. 12/3. Tyree Nichols. I did plenty of reports on that, and I got in trouble back in the day because I went too far. But I decoded this puppy back in the day. And the Scorpion group, they're the one beat the hell out of him. The Scorpion group in Memphis. You guys probably remember that. It's deep. So let's look at that date. You got, let's go back. We have the actual day that he got beat, January 7th, death, January 10th. If you take January 7th, 2024 anniversary versus the death of the gentleman from a few days ago, well, 12/9, the difference is 48 weeks. Like April 8th, a sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying, people? It's right there. And then, like I told you earlier, 5/25/2024, that's the anniversary of the beat down of George Floyd. Versus what? 12/9, the death of this young man. 12/9/2024. The difference is 6 months and 14 days. And whose birthday is 6/14? Trump. They're feeding the gods. This was a sacrifice. I don't care what nobody said. They feed the gods based on people who are on top. It doesn't. I'm not saying he got anything to do with it. What I'm saying is that this is a system that people we have serpent children on the earth, and they sacrifice people daily. And because Jesus is coming again, you're seeing major activity from the dark realm. That's what I'm saying in relation to the leadership that's being pushed upon us. And one of the reps they're pushing right now is Trump, 614. In order to grow this one world system, they sacrifice in relation to the people that they're pushing. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This is what the Phoenicians did back in the day. I'm not saying Trump is the devil. What I'm saying is this. Some people report that he is. I understand how sacrifice works. If it was me that they propelled to go to the top, they would use my birthday to speak that that's how they did the sacrifice. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, 12/9 is the day this guy got killed. Was the day that they beat the hell out of him, rather. 12/9. Versus the day that Trump had his ear issue where? In Butler, Pennsylvania. It was on 7/13, right? The anniversary is 2025. Look at the difference. 2/16. What is 2/16? Suppose I told you the 216th day of the year was August 4th, and Barack Obama was born August 4th. There's your 84 again. I know it's deep. Again, Donald Trump's day, he got hit in the ear, anniversary 2025, July 13th, versus the day this man got beat the hell out of, 12/9. The difference is 216 days. 216th day of the year is August 4th, which is 8/4. Barack Obama was born August 4th. That's system number. Ain't that deep? What are the odds? And let's look at this. I'm almost done. His name is Robert Brooks, y'all. If you take Robert Brooks, Donald John Trump, it don't matter what order it is, look at what you get. 343. What is 343? Robert Brooks is the guy who got beat the hell out of. And I told you, in part, the sacrifice was for Donald J. Trump. Because, remember, they're pushing him as the Jesus, the 316 of the moment. And this was symbolic of a sacrifice. You see the tie-in? I'm just throwing it in there. Allegedly, that's what's going on in our realm right now. It's vitally important you guys understand the realm we're in. When you put both these names together, you get 343. What is 343? Wait for it. The 343rd day of the year is December 9th. What's December 9th? December 9th, 2024. That's the day they beat the living hell out of this man. What are the odds? What are the odds that I could take Robert Brooks' name and put Donald John Trump together and come up with 343, and it comes out to December 9th, which is matches the same day this man got the hell beat out of him. God gave me this gift when I was 17. And it blows my mind, the things that he shows me. What can we take from this? Be careful, people. This is the most dangerous realm that we've ever lived in, probably since the days of Noah. And I told y'all, I'm speculating. Every time they hit on that daggone door in Rome, wherever they at, that Pope, what he doing? When they go into these portals, it's scaring the living hell out of me. So I'm running to Jesus. I don't know about you. I'm running to Jesus. This is the end of the year. I might go live tonight. We'll see. We'll see. I love you. People, be at peace. Don't hate your brother, man, over the things that they're doing. This is not how the average white person acts. This is not how the average person acts, period, on the planet. But the powers what I'm trying to tell you, and I've showed this many times in my last show I had, Franchise Pearson. The powers have been using race as a way to divide us. It's just more amplified now. God bless you and God keep you. God bless America. Be careful, people.